What's going on, you guys? So today we're going to be working on the TC, and basically it's going to be like a do-it-yourself project. If you want to do this at home, you can do it, and it's pretty simple and fairly easy. And what we're going to be doing is I want to put carbon fiber accents down in the cup holders. So it's going to be like a carbon fiber sheet down here. And the reason why I want to put carbon fiber accents in the cup holders is because, I mean, every little detail counts. So that's one of the reasons. The second reason is I have lights in here that light up in the cup holder, and with the gel coat of the carbon fiber, it's gonna illuminate more the car. So that's another reason why I want to do it. But I mean, it's basically just for looks, and so it can look nice, and so you don't have it all like dirty. Like, it looks all dirty here with the plastic that it comes with, and it'll be better if you just put like a carbon fiber sheet there. So that's basically what we're going to be doing today. And keep in mind, this is the first time I'm actually doing this, so I mean, I'm learning at the same time you guys are learning, and you guys can perfect it if there's better ways to do it, but this is the way I'm going to do it, and that's how I'm going to show you guys. So basically all you're going to need for this project is going to be the carbon fiber sheet that you're going to be trimming off. So I'm going to show you guys what that looks like, and you can either get this on eBay or you can get it on Save on Carbon's website, and it all depends. On eBay, of course, you're going to get it cheaper, but on eBay, as you can tell, it's real carbon fiber, but just the front side is going to have a gel coat, and the back side is going to be all matte. So that's how you're going to find it on eBay. And then for Save On, of course, it's going to be more expensive. I believe this sheet was the same size as the eBay one, but it's just I've been working with this one, and the Save On Carbon costed about $120, and the eBay one costed $40, I believe, for the same size and everything. But as you can tell, for Save On, they have a gel coat on both sides. So that's one side, and then the other side has a gel coat. So for Save On, you're going to have a gel coat on both sides, and for eBay, you're going to have a gel coat just on one side. So it's up to you guys, whichever one you guys want to choose. If you guys want to go cheaper on eBay, I mean, it's real carbon fiber still. It's just you're going to get a matte on one side, and on Save On, you're going to get a clear coat on both sides. So it's up to you guys. So the approach I'm going to take to start this is I found a cap that fits perfectly inside the cup holder. So I'm going to be tracing that on a piece of cardboard. So that's the first thing I'm going to do, just trace that on a piece of cardboard. So you're going to want to get a piece of cardboard that you have laying around the house, and you're going to want to trace your shape. But the piece of cardboard, make sure it's very sturdy, and make sure it's not going to bend the corners or anything. So we're going to start by tracing the cap. So once you have your circle, you're going to want to cut it out. Once you got your circle cut out of the cap, you're going to want to check if it fits. So it fits a little bit tight, but that's all right. You can always trim off the edges when you actually have the whole shape. So what you're going to want to do is just cut another shape out of this. Just make another shape with the cap and cut out another piece. So now that you got your two pieces, you can put them inside the cup holder. So they both fit pretty tight, and as you can tell, you need this middle piece. So what we're going to do to get this middle piece, we're just going to cut out a piece that's this long, and we're just going to fit it across. It doesn't matter if it's too long. We're just going to try to put it on the bottom and trace out the corners, and I'll show you guys what that looks like. So now that you got your piece cut out, a little rectangle, you can just fit it over, and as you can tell, it's not as perfect. It's a little too short, but that's all right. Like I said, you can always cut out, like when you're cutting out the whole shape, you can always cut it out a little bit bigger than usual, and you can just trim it all off. So that's okay. So I'm just showing you guys what you guys can do. Even if it's not perfect, you can always get it right. So what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to pick these up, and you're going to want to fit this one down here in the middle. And then you want to push them back down. And you're going to want to trace out, as you can tell right here, these little half a circle. You're going to want to trace these out. That way you know where to cut it. So I'm going to get the pen. So I'm going to get the pen, and I'm just going to mark up right here. And you're just going to want to cut where you marked it. So after you have your piece cut out, you cut off the sides to make it fit. You want to check if it fits. and as you can tell, it fits all fine. So the next thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to get some glue, crazy glue, or some JB Weld glue, and you're going to want to just tack glue right here. That way it's all one piece, and you can take it off all as one piece, and you can trace it on the carbon fiber. So just glue that and just wait for it to dry, and once it's dry you can pull it all off. So I'm going to use the epoxy JB Weld. So I'm just going to mix it up, and I'm just going to pour it on the creases. So it's up to you guys, whatever you guys want to use. You guys can use that, or you guys can use crazy glue. This one, I picked this one because it just sets in 5 minutes. It's going to dry in 5 minutes, and all you have to do is just mix it. So I'm just going to mix it and then just pour it on there. And also, you don't need to pour so much. You just need to put like a little tack weld, but I'm just mixing a lot just in case. So you just want to put a little tack weld on it and just wait for it to dry. So I'm just going to get a little bit of glue, and I'm just going to put a little bit right here on the creases. Just that way, so when you pull it apart, it's going to come off at one piece. That's all basically why you're gluing it. You don't have to put a lot, you can just put a little bit. It's up to you guys, whatever you feel is necessary. So once you put your glue, all you're going to do is just let it dry. So just let it sit, and once it's dry, you can just all pull it off. So now that it's finished drying, you're going to want to get a screwdriver and just pop one of the sides off, and you're going to want to pull it up. So as you can tell, it all came off. And just be careful because it can still come off, but just try to leave it as close as possible, and you can already start tracing on your carbon fiber. So mine is all in one piece, but if yours like comes apart, like if it's coming apart like that, like you can still see the glue, just put it as close as possible, and you should be able to stick it back on there, as you can tell. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna trace the shape onto the carbon fiber sheet. I have it all taped up, so that way you can see the shape where you need to cut. So as you can tell, it's not the most perfect circle, but it is good enough. And the way we're gonna cut it is we're gonna cut a big rectangle as close as possible, and we're not gonna cut exactly on the line, except for here. We're gonna cut exactly on the line because, as you know, it fit a little bit tight here, but on the sides it didn't fit that tight. It was a little bit loose on the sides, so we're gonna cut exactly on the lines here, but when it comes to the sides, we're just gonna cut a little bit wider than needed. So what I'm gonna use to cut the carbon fiber is gonna be a Dremel with a diamond coated wheel. You don't have to use a Dremel with the diamond coated wheel, but you can also use a hacksaw with thin blades. You can use thin blades, and it will actually cut through the carbon fiber. So we're gonna use that. We're gonna use the Dremel, and make sure you guys wear eye protection and nose protection, because cutting carbon fiber is very hazardous. It can actually get to your nostrils and all the fibers, and it can be very bad for you. So always wear nose protection and eye protection. So let's start cutting. So now that we cut all the edges and we left the middle a little bit wider than the circles, all we're going to use is a bench grinder, and we're going to start grinding the sides away. You don't have to use a bench grinder, but you can use sandpaper, but it's just going to take a little bit longer with the sandpaper. So we're going to use a bench grinder just to speed up the process. Alright guys, so I just got done trimming it off, and I'm not gonna lie, I didn't get it right the first time. Like, I had to keep on trimming it off and checking if it would fit, and sometimes it was a little bit too wide right here still on the sides on the circle, so I had to keep on trimming it and checking, so that's what you guys are gonna want to do. But now I know that it actually fits, and I'll show you guys how it fits. So let me just set you guys down right here. And voila, it actually fits pretty good. And I ended up leaving a little gap right here on the side. As you can tell, it's just a small little gap. Everything else fits perfectly, but I left a small little gap so you can fit like a screwdriver, just in case if you want to pop it off, you can always pop it off. So I left a little gap there. You guys can do the same or just fill it in, but I left it there just in case if I wanted to take it off and clean it or something, so you guys can do that. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna take off the tape and I'll show you guys what it looks like with just pure carbon fiber. So since I already have it all fitted right and everything, I'm gonna take off the tape so I can finally put it on there like permanently. So I'll show you guys the carbon fiber. So I ended up using the eBay one because I didn't want to use the Save-On since it costs so much more. I'm gonna save that for other projects, so I used the eBay one. As you can tell, all the shiny of the gel coat, and I'll put it in the car. So you can tell it fits nice and perfect, and it's all shiny and everything. As you can tell, it looks way better than the plastic. It looked all dirty in there, so that looks a little bit better. And since I hydro dipped this center console, as you can tell, it's all looks kind of carbon fiber. It kind of matches with it, so I really like it too. Alright guys, so that's gonna do it for this video, and this project was kind of like a do-it-yourself that you guys can do at home, and it's fairly easy and simple for you guys to do, that you guys can do it for any other car that you guys have, and it gives it that extra flair to it. So that's pretty much it with the video, and I hope you guys enjoyed it, and leave a like if you guys haven't left a like, and subscribe if you haven't subscribed, and I'll catch you guys next time. Peace.